America's most haunted road. The mystery of the missing travelers. Nobody talks about Route 39 after sunset. Not because it's dangerous in the usual way. There are no deadly curves, no collapsing bridges, and no notorious criminals waiting in the dark. Yet drivers avoid it, because something about Route 39 feels wrong. The road cuts through miles of isolated forest and abandoned farmland. On a map, it looks ordinary, but over the last 40 years, dozens of people have disappeared along this lonely stretch of highway. Cars have been found abandoned. Drivers have vanished without a trace. Entire families have simply never arrived at their destinations, and nearly every case begins the same way: a normal drive, a routine trip, a final phone call that ends suddenly. One retired officer who spent 20 years investigating the area once said, "People don't disappear on Route 39. They get taken." The most famous case occurred in 1983. A family of 4 was driving to visit relatives just a few towns away. They never arrived. Their car was later found parked neatly on the roadside. The doors were locked. The engine was off. Inside, everything looked normal. Wallets, personal belongings, even a half-eaten snack. It appeared as if the family had stepped outside for only a moment, but they were never seen again. As the years passed, stranger stories emerged. Truck drivers reported massive walls of fog appearing without warning. Not ordinary fog. A thick, grey darkness that seemed almost alive. Many claimed they saw headlights moving inside it, lights traveling in impossible directions. Yet, whenever they looked closer, there were no vehicles, only empty darkness. Then came one of the most disturbing reports ever recorded. A truck driver, traveling at 2:13 a.m., spotted a motionless figure standing in the middle of the road. He slowed down and called out. The figure never answered. Instead, it simply vanished. Later, when reviewing his dashcam footage, he noticed something terrifying. The truck was moving down the highway, but in the windshield reflection, there was no driver, only an empty seat. Authorities blamed fatigue and hallucinations, but the disappearances continued. In 1996, a young couple was last seen passing mile marker 18. They never reached mile marker 19. Days later, their vehicle was discovered running normally, 3 miles behind where they were last seen. It was as if the road itself had moved them backward. Soon, local legends began to spread. People started calling Route 39 a shifting path, a place that appears normal by day but changes after dark. Some believe it is a doorway between realities. Others believe the road is somehow alive. A group of urban explorers attempted to investigate the legend. Their recovered footage showed them as they drove into the darkness. Then the fog arrived. Visibility vanished. A came from the back seat. "Turn back while you still remember who you are." Moments later, a loud crash echoed through the recording. Then silence. The audio continued for several seconds. No voices, no breathing, only the sound of an empty vehicle. Perhaps the strangest testimony came from a retired highway worker. For years, he painted road markings along Route 39. According to him, the road changed at night. Lines shifted, markers moved. One evening, he painted a perfectly straight white line. The next morning, it had become a giant spiral stretching into the darkness. He resigned immediately and never returned. Today, Route 39 remains open. Cars still travel it, maps still show it. But locals know better than to drive there after sunset, because those who disappear are rarely found, and those who return often remember things that should not exist. Road signs that were never there, distances that make no sense, and headlights in their mirrors that belong to no vehicle on Earth. So if you ever find yourself alone on a quiet road and you can't remember how far you've traveled, keep driving. Don't stop. Don't look back. Because on Route 39, the road isn't taking you somewhere. It's deciding whether you're allowed to leave.